And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome! You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say.
Hey there, Libra. Welcome to Koi Plays Tarot. My name is Koi, and I'm going to be your tarot card reader for today. What we're looking at in this round of reads is going to be your one-to-one in September. One-to-one reads are what I like to call examining direct relational dynamic between point A and point B, i.e. you and another. Two main points I'd like to discuss about this. I intentionally do not call them love reads sometimes because it might not always be lovely, right? We don't just talk about the butterflies and intimacy. We talk about everything that goes into it, right? So I feel that when the moment it gets that label, sometimes it's a false guarantee. The second thing, these types of reads don't always have to be about love, right? Sometimes it could be about a dynamic between yourself and a friend, yourself and a sibling, yourself and a coworker, things like that, right? It just examines all the dynamics between point A and point B at this current time. So as a preamble to the reads, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse. Because at times when we encounter things that spark a reaction within us, the question is, why is it happening that way? I, as your tarot card reader, would never try to purposely misread anything on the board. That's not my job, and that's not the type of reads that I do. I would want to sit with you and talk about, hey, Libra, what's going on today? So follow along in the read, and hopefully I can be a good guide in your tarot journey. Let's see what the cards say. So what's the cards that we need to see, please, for Libra in their 1-1 read, month of September? What are the cards that Libra needs to see, please, 1-1, month of September? So you're going to be on this side, and that's great. You're going to be on this side, and they're going to be on that. Yeah, let's talk a little bit. What are the cards that we need to see, please, for Libra and their 1-1 read? I just take that one break right there as bad shuffling. Why? Because I was trying to do this at the same time. Imagine doing that while you're trying to... No. That was a bad idea, and I shouldn't have known it to begin with. So, on your side, Libra. 6 of Wands. Okay. Recognition and admiration. What are we doing? Why do we feel, in a good vibe of victoriousness? On the other side, the 5 of Cups. Pain and sorrow of how things played out between you and another. Okay. Starting off and saying we're having oppositional feelings here. Not just feeling happy, but that 6 of Wands in comparison to that 5 of Cups saying, I've never felt better, right? So there's this notion of what are we coming out of and or stepping into. And so the 5 of Cups, their side rests in a state of pain and sorrow. The question isn't, how can we make them feel sorry for anything? That's not what is going on here. There's just a deep sorrow and pain that is had. The question is, how do we get here and what's going on? So we're going to examine fronts and backs right now that we have two distinct parties on the board. We have the fronts facing each other, what is directly shown, demonstrated, and or said, and the backs are what is behind. That means the things that are not directly shown, the things that are not directly said. Show us the cards that we need to see, please, and Libra's 1-1. Fronts and backs. Show us fronts and backs. And Libra's 1-1 read, please. That snapped, but it didn't hit the table, so I can't take. And going across, okay, the King of Pentacles trying to make the right investment. 8 of Wands, directly communicating. On their side, towards you, optimism. How so? 7 of Wands. Okay, this is definitely different from what I originally expected, but let's talk about it. So on your side, the direct communication of an investment You never felt better. Again, that vibe has not changed. The information as to why was kind of different from what I expected, but directly saying between you and that person, hey, this is where I'm at right now. This is what I'm doing. I'm so glad to be doing this. It's never been better for me. At least that's the intent of what you tried to communicate. Their side, the pain of the notion of unexpressed pain comes from optimism and guardedness at the same time, right? This is the small smile that conceals a lot. Whatever is going on between you and this person, Libra, there's a notion of it's not that they are intentionally lying, but to be entirely forthcoming means to also bring out a painful side that they haven't addressed yet, right? I'm not getting the sense of like somebody is trying to see you lose or anything like that. That's not the intention. What I am seeing is a person who's trying to see the upside to anger, trying to see the upside of things right now, but there's something that's being held on to that's just creating more of a void of a pain inside. Okay? Positions, reveal positions in the one-to-one of Libra. Where does each side stand in the one-to-one of this read? Show us cards we need to see, please. And Libra's one-to-one. On your side, Queen of Wands. I want to embrace this newfound everything. Okay. And that's why you're going so full steam ahead with it. On their side, Nine of Pentacles. Why are we saying we need a long-term investment? Okay. Again, the story is not entirely adding up over here. I'm trying to understand why. The reason being, Libra, on your side, the Queen of Wands wanting to embrace the emotionality properly after we've gone through the actions, whatever we try to say was giving us happiness and fulfillment. That storyline for you has not changed from the moment that started over here, right? On this side, well, there's not only pain, but there's optimism and the understanding of the need to invest. Why are they guarded? That's the part that doesn't make any sense to me. Because that investment is spelled, that's a lot to balance. Okay, so from what I'm reading, it's two distinct pathways, right? Somebody's either afraid of you moving on, or they're afraid they have to give up something of their own in order to make whatever this dream for you is work, right? Is that being directly communicated? No. There's a lot of how we really feel being hidden by pleasantries and smiles, right? It is not intentionally malicious. Please do understand that, Libra. I'm not trying to call you anything. I'm not trying to say anything negatively. What I am trying to say is until this person directly expresses exactly what's getting at them, they're going through the motions of the long-term investment that they actively are feeling pain from, but they want to be happy for you at the same time. Right? These emotions are conflicting within them. It's either they're afraid of you moving on in whatever direction this is for you. And trust me, you're like full steam ahead on this, but it's either that or B, they feel like they have to give up something in order to maintain whatever dynamic is between you and them. Again, it's not being directly communicated. And I think that's the biggest part here of until they say what they genuinely mean, it's not really going to budge anywhere. Right? So it's almost strategic resentment. Whereas, okay, if we express ourselves more fully, we can have a, negotiation or conversation about what things could look differently. But right now, we're definitely going through the motions of whatever is just making that person feel more pain on the inside. Underneath it all, the Ten of Swords. Painful and sharp conclusions now being made. Again. And that's why I'm saying, your story did not change. Theirs eventually did, right? We can only put on that smile of small optimism for so long. But right now, until they start speaking about what is actually getting at them in this entire situation, because they either see themselves being left behind or themselves having to give up something in order for you to be happy, which I don't know why that's a contingent here. But again, until it's expressed, can't really work much with that. They gotta say what they mean and mean what they say. Okay, down the middle. So if we had 1, 2, 1, for example, one person over here looking towards or to another person over here, then we also have 1, 2, 1. One person, another person, and what they share down the middle. So let's look at the bridge. Show us cards that we need to see, please, and Libra's one-to-one read. What is held in the space that is shared between them and their person in this one-to-one read? Down the middle, what is held? 8 of Cups, the need to walk away. Okay, so the choice to leave something behind. Again, it's coming out in many different forms right now, but I gotta see a little bit more. 4 of Pentacles, what was once held on to, with a death grip, our investments, etc. And that's what I'm saying over here. Okay, we're gonna come back to that in a bit. What was held on to, we must now re-examine. Page of Cups, the notion of base level happiness, or at least the optimism we can create therefrom. And the World, a cycle's completion. Yeah, that's the direction this is going. So let's try to call it even, right? For the dynamic that you have with this person, Libra, there's this harsh acceptance of change that is happening, right? You're saying, hey, I'm elevating. This is what I want to do. This is how I'm pursuing it. And on the surface level, we're cool, right? It's all good. But when we dive a little bit deeper into whatever this connection is for you, Libra, it starts to reveal a pain where, okay, I don't know if I have to invest and be resentful or be fake happy and full resentful, or the notion that you're going to leave me in the dust. Because trust me, that 8 of Cups coming out first, particularly touching that 4 of Pentacles, we're leaving behind what we once invested into. You're saying, wherever I'm going, yeah, I'm more than happy about that. And what they're seeing that is, I'm going to lose you in that process. So I have to invest. Right? Notice they did not exactly say what they meant. They just said, okay, well, this is the plan now, so I'm just going to stick along for that ride. And so a cycle's completion, we either accept where this dynamic is, or we actually start speaking our mind. And right now, I feel that this is not expressing itself enough to have an authentic depiction of what's going on with this other party. Just to be totally blunt. Underneath it all, Hermit, the card of Virgo. Well, if this is what healing looks like, then we also have to ask what other tools lay in that toolkit. We are capping out Virgo season right now at the time of this recording, so it's always good to pull the power card. Tis the reason for the season. But that Hermit right there, the hope that we can heal, the hope that this all will be better, and that's very much what you want to do with the intentionality, whatever this pursuit is for you, Libra. But over here, it seems like this person is just going through the motions to maintain contentness. They're not vocalizing what is paining them. They're not vocalizing pretty much anything out loud, but no, I'm happy for you. Right? You see, the smile is, they can't put it on forever. And so it's held between, we either morph and shift this dynamic, or we just accept that cycle is over. But you're not going to abandon what you're doing just because they're not saying what they mean. Okay, fair enough. Hey, you can only work with what you got, right? There's only one major arcana located. Wow, okay. Well, this is very direct. Define the major arcana, the one above all, the world. And I call it that, at least in my book, Libra, because the world is the highest card of both the major and the minor arcana. It is the one above all. Okay. That was bad shuffling. Show us the cards that we need to see, please. Define that world for Libra in their one-to-one reading. Okay, if you're going to fly out, you're going to fly out. But show us the cards we need to see, please, for Libra in their reading. to the world, the King of Pentacles, that we can make the right investment and make the cycle close, right? And I know where your heart is at, Libra. Your investment is, you said what you meant and you meant what you said. Their investment, they will have to come to terms with over time. I could either be fake happy, go through the motions, and just say and do whatever and pretend like I'm okay with everything, or I could start to address what irks me about the situation. Either way, a cycle's investment, it's closing, right? Whatever this dynamic is closing out. It's reaching its, it's reaching its zenith, its ultimate point here. What is our conclusion? Because they either got to vocalize what they mean or keep it to themselves. It's reaching that point, but if they choose to keep it to themselves, Libra, do understand you didn't lie. You didn't say anything to them necessarily that was designed to be a dig or a negative impediment towards them. And that's probably why all this is coming out. We're balancing all these emotions on a page of wands, right? The base optimism that, hey, I'm happy for you. If that's the storyline that they're going to go with, and they're not going to say what they actually mean, and they're not going to mean what they say, then that's what you work with. And so the cycle closes out on that note. It's just where it stands. Until that person actually says what they means, and means what they say, this is where we are. Got it. Resolution. Reveal cards of resolution for Libra in their 1-1 read. What is held in the space of resolution for Libra in their 1-1? That's a break. What are the cards that we need to see, please, in the space of resolution for Libra in their 1-1 read, please? Resolution we hold. Queen of Swords. And the facts are facts. The facts are facts. We know what we know, and we work off of what we know. In here, unless it is said, that's not a space I will move from. That is the Libra that I'm talking to right now. High Priestess. What do we internally feel? What is brewing underneath? And again, see, the reason I'm having, kind of this off-putting feeling, at least within me as your tarot card reader, Libra, is because we're saying this is what the concept was. This is what my investment is. You may not have seen all of it, but trust me, the work was done. Now the Eight of Wands, I told you everything that I could. Right? I was as fair and as equitable as possible. The Queen of Wands, I want to embrace this fully. That was the upfront part. That is this Queen of Swords. I said what I meant. I meant what I said. Over here, they said what they thought you wanted to hear. They know what they heard, but they're not expressing what they actually mean, right? The High Priestess, so that internal voice, what's digging at both of them right now is that this other party is not actually saying what they mean. And you're starting to get that vibe too of, okay, well, if you're going to be fake happy, then what am I going to do with that? Right? If you're going to constantly move like that, if you're going to resent me while you help me, or you resent me while we go through with this plan, then that's your choice, because I didn't lie. Trust me, I did not lie here. Underneath it all, Three of Cups, the notion of reunion or getting together. Here, emotional convergence. And I think this is, the hard acceptance that must be had, is that unless you come together in a better formulaic dynamic, right? Unless we say, hey, I'm willing to heal on these terms. I have to accept where I am on these terms. I have to be honest about these terms. Then we won't have that full emotional sharing of celebration, right? Now, can we come back together at a different time and, try to examine this as friends? Because I do very much see this as a dynamic, not necessarily of lovers, but more so as, friends where as one evolves, the other is having, they're feeling a certain type of way about where you're going. But until we have that level of honesty and communication, we're gonna be stuck in the hypothetical of what could be, right? And you don't want to be around someone, Libra, who is saying, I'm going to actively invest into something that I know full well I haven't vocalized how much I resent it. That is what's going on here. I'm just going to call a spade a spade. And so we end on that note. That is where we are choosing. We are still going to go through with the investment because you haven't said what you mean. You haven't meant what you say. And so I got a life to live. And I hope you live yours still. Whew. Well, yeah, we know how to call a spade, don't we? That's what I see in your read today, Libra. Again, these are tough conversations when the conversation itself is stunted, but I do want you to give yourself the ability to say, hey, I left the door open, and unless we talk about it, I'm going to make my moves. That's all you can do right now. I hope this conversation helped, and yeah, do what you feel is right, okay? See ya.